As we know, Class 1A is soon going to be 2A, so I thought I'd talk about something that I haven't really seen people making videos on, though I could just have missed it, let's be honest here. I don't watch too many anime related videos unless it's someone I'm subscribed to. People have made videos bringing up the fact that Shinsu is joining Class 1A or 1B, though we can probably speculate 1A in their second year, and people have also speculated that we may be finding out who the traitor is either before that or around the same time. But one thing that I haven't really seen anywhere in regards to their second year is the fact that we're going to be introduced to a whole new class, or even two new classes of heroes. A new class 1A and B when Deku and the others move up to class 2A and 2B. Now these new students, no matter who they are, I don't think they're gonna be any more relevant than the current class 1B, let's be real here. Either way, I thought I would bring some attention to this topic because hey, no one else seems to be talking about it, so here we go. Going into the second year, Deku and the others, much like we've seen with the big three in UA, they have to step by step become students that are more looked up to, let's be honest. Obviously, that does not necessarily mean that we should be expecting the big three level of respect already in year 2. I think that would be kind of unrealistic, but it would be interesting to see the class be more talked about by the other classes or the other departments, or at least be more visibly respected in a way that they haven't been yet, because obviously they're only first years, they're not supposed to be that well respected, they're the youngest out of the classes, I mean come on. So naturally second years and third years are going to be far more respected than the first years. The first years are really as fresh out of the box material, especially compared to the second and third years. But now going into the second year, it would be really interesting to see that change. I remember in the Culture Festival, there was this one moment where I think it was the general department had some kind of issue with the hero department, so they really looked down on them, especially class 1A for whatever reason. I don't remember the exact reason, but it would be interesting going into the second year, of course, to see some of that change, like seeing the other classes go from a more negative look on the hero department to a far more positive one in a way we haven't really seen yet, at least. I mean, we haven't really had too much interactions between the departments themselves. Like we've had individual students, but we haven't really seen like complete departments really have big interactions apart from the Culture Festival and the Sports Festival, and I don't really think we can really measure that yet, at least. I really do need something else to go off of, if I'm being honest. Now let's talk about the new first years that are going to be coming into UA starting the next school year of UA, because that is something that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's going to be a big thing, like they might not show too much of the new first years, but it would be really nice to see how Deku and everyone else have interactions with the new students, and it would also be really cool to see the new students actually take notes and learn from Deku and everyone else in 1A, and even students from class 1B, or well, they're gonna be 2A and 2B at that time, of course. But the main reason why I would like the new first years to be relevant to a degree at least is because I kind of want to see how Deku and everyone else react in a way, especially if they end up having internships with these students, much like we had Deku interning with Miria, we had Kirishima with Tamaki, and we had Ochako and Tsuyu with Nejire. Now that case was obviously first year and third years, so it's a little bit different, but at the same time it would still be kind of cool to see how these first years end up interning with students from, you know, Deku's class or Monoma's class, because I do remember in one of the more recent chapters in the manga, there was talk about internships being more forced on the schools so that, you know, the students are far more prepared to a villain attack just in case, you know. And I think that might be a reason why we might see the new first years come into internships a lot sooner than we may think. I could be wrong here, but I think it is something we should really consider, and that could actually lead into something really good with the main cast, especially because what I kind of want to see from the students that we are so familiar with is seeing them try to be in charge rather than being the backup, for lack of a better word. Like it would be really nice to see how Deku, Boku, Todoroki, and everyone else in 1A and 1B actually try to be the leading role out of the students in their internship. Much like Mirio was obviously the sort of leading horse with Deku and Tamaki, while he was kind of shy and all that, insecure, he was still someone that Kirishima looked up to, and so on and so forth. And with Nejire, we saw how she actually took out these villains, while Tsuyu and Ochako, they were more backup, if anything. They weren't really doing as much as Nejire. So that's kind of what I mean. Like I would like to see that the cast that we know, the main cast of the story, taking those roles if an internship with younger students were to happen. I think that would really add a lot to their characters, especially since they're not really that used to leadership. It's not really something that they have learned so far. because I mean, for the most part, whenever a villain attack occurs, it's not exactly planned. At least not the cases that we've had so far, like with the first internships and all that. That wasn't really planned at all. In fact, like the whole thing with the Nomus and Stain, that was absolutely not planned. Now with the Overhaul arc, that's a bit different. Like it was definitely planned, but Deku was never meant to be the leading charge in there, and he wasn't really, let's be honest. Like, yeah, he had the final fight, but that's really it. Like for the whole raid, he did not play a huge role when it comes to planning everything and being the front runner. That was really Mirio's role, as we could see, because Mirio was first at the scene with Overhaul. Tamaki was responsible for dealing with those 3 villains, and obviously the girls, along with Nejire, they helped up on top. They were outside dealing with that one villain. So you can really see how the 1A students, the current 1A students, they were not really playing their leader role, and that is something that I would like to see more of in their second year. I want to see them get a taste of that. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to talk about the potential of their second year, which probably won't be as long as their first year, and I think the third year is also going to be a bit longer, but I would still like to see some of this development and progression with their characters going into the second year, especially if, you know, the whole situation with the first years do happen, which it may or may not. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think about this, so drop a comment down below letting me know what you think, and as always, if you did, be sure to Detroit smash that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This has been Chaotic Plus, and remember, Toge's waifu, Toge's lifu.